Are you a day walker and you just don't know it? Recent findings and a lot of people's different models, their little medical models and projections, a lot of different countries and experts and scholars have been doing this. So there's been on a couple of occasions, a few scholars that have put together these models that suggest far more people have been infected by this coronavirus, this novel coronavirus to be specific. And that's going to have like a important reason why I'm saying that. But far more may have been infected than what is accounted for. We're talking about tens or hundreds more. Basically, what they're doing is they're taking there's been like a few different examples. Like one thing was like some marine ship or something like that, where there was a whole bunch of Marines there, and they found that 60% of them didn't show any symptoms. You know what I'm saying? And they got like other little anecdotal little sets of experiments that they're doing with a few different people, and they're finding percentages of groupings of people that they may have randomly test. A good majority of them aren't showing symptoms, even mild symptoms, and don't show symptoms, like even after 2 weeks, a month, and all that type of stuff. So basically, what these studies are indicating as a logical probability and possibility is that far more people, the worldwide, I guess in the US and particularly nationwide, are infected, or maybe infected's a wrong choice of words, because a lot of these people probably aren't showing any signs of infection. They're just asymptomatic. They've had this coronavirus into their system sometime between, I don't know, let's say January and now, and didn't go through the motions. You know what I'm saying? Of course, there's also some that go through some small minor things, emotions, and they might have like a slight fever, then it goes away, a little cough, sniffles, then it goes away, just really mild symptoms. You know what I'm saying? But a couple different models, a few different scholars are highly suspecting that the vast majority of people are infected. Now, what does this mean? This means that the actual death rate will be a whole lot less than what is being reported. I think in the US now they're saying it's approximately 3.4% of a death rate. It might even be higher, to be honest with you, because New York is crazy, different states. Ultimately, we got it bad. But you got to realize this is the percent of deaths based on the amount of calculated infections. Now, in order for your infection to get calculated, you got to get a test. I'm hearing stories all over the world, and especially all over the United States, that if your symptoms, you could be showing symptoms for this and try to get a test, and they don't test you, right? Like, you have to be showing like symptoms. You got to be practically ready to be hospitalized for them to even test you for this thing. You follow what I'm saying? So, so basically, the amount of people in total that they have recorded that are positive for this, they're taking the death rate based off that. But if the infected is like way more, 100 more, 1,000 more, we're talking about in the millions in the United States potentially being infected right now. You know what I'm saying? But most of them just not showing symptoms. You feel me? Then that would put the death rate somewhere really low, like 0.2%, 0.02%, something like that. Now, it's all about perspective, obviously, because you could say, oh, well, that's around the death rate of the flu, so this means this is just about as serious as the flu. No, it still makes this thing very serious, and that goes to that word that I used a little earlier, novel, which means new, which means that innately when the infection spread, no one had an immunity to it. And since no one has an immunity to it, or what's called herd immunity, where, like if a flu season comes, half the people won't get it because, they done had a flu already, or I don't want to talk about the flu shots. That's another thing. But, they've been through the motions where flu season comes again. Some people get it. A lot of people, most people don't practically, whatever. But being that this is novel or new, that means everybody could get it. Everybody is I don't want to say suspect. Everybody is subject to getting this. And the fact that it spreads extremely contagiously with an R naught of anywhere, I think on the low end it's 4, and on the high end it's 14. Believe it or not. And what is the R naught? That means the number that you say, like an R naught of 4, means that one person can infect 4 people. Those 4 could infect 4 themselves. Some of y'all might realize one of the alleged whistleblowers early on, when this was in Wuhan, China, she spoke out back when they were only saying there was like maybe a few hundred or a couple thousand people infected. She said, no, there's 90,000 people infected, and one person can infect 14 people. So she literally said the R naught was 14. You know what I'm saying? But other studies are showing on average it's probably anywhere between like 4 and 6. Now compare that to like the flu. I think the flu might be 1 or 2 at the most. You know what I'm saying? Most things aren't that. Like anything over 2 is like insane. For one person to be able to infect 3 people, that's like bonkers. That's like crazy infectious. And the beautiful thing is you could get the R naught or the infectability down by implementing measures, distancing people, masks, all that type of stuff. That's when you get it down. That, you know, that number is interchangeable if people aren't engaging with each other. So the whole goal was to get it below 1, and that's when the infection stops spreading, right? Oh, another thing, another indicator, and I read this in a comment, very good point. A lot of you may notice a lot of celebrities are getting tested for this. They have an advantage. There's celebrities that have a status, they have image people, consultants, they got connects where they could get a test. And a lot of these celebrities that are getting these tests, they weren't showing any symptoms. So someone that's, I guess, a celebramatic, that's my own word, but somebody that's not a celebrity may not have that advantage to get tested like they do. But the point I'm getting at is, as I understand, the vast majority of celebrities that got tested and have been considered positive, to my understanding, I understand that most of them didn't get any symptoms. Of course, we got a Scarface that caught little symptoms. I think you got Slim. Well, no, Scarface seems like he's kind of going through it. Slim Thug was showing symptoms. You know, his light skin powers kicked in. He'll be all right though, and maybe like 1 or 2 others. But for the most of the celebrities that you pretty much hear, I haven't really heard many of them having any like crazy symptoms. You know what I'm saying? So that could also be indicative of that. Like, okay, well, if everyone had the opportunity that a celebrity has, where anyone could get tested, would we be seeing like 90%, 80, 90% of people asymptomatic or just slight sniffle at best and everything's all good? Who knows? Hopefully these little studies are true, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I know people that have had brush-ins with highly suspected people that have this, that's next to them. They had like a couple little symptoms here and there, and then they went away. You know what I'm saying? And then the people they with is having it, and you know they're doing all right too. I gotta holler at my homeboy because I may very well, from him telling me some stuff, it's a very good possibility. You know, I gotta holler at him and get the dates right, that I may have been exposed around February, around mid to late February myself. You know what I'm saying? Close quarters, coughing, all up on here, and it was something highly infective. You know what I mean? It would have rocked me for sure. You know what I'm saying? Did I go through the asymptomatic? You know, nothing going on, no problems with it. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But as I understand, what they're trying to do are what's going to be called antibody tests, and the antibody test will tell retroactively if someone was infected with this. You know, and because basically that means you would build up antibodies that if it's strong enough, it gives you an immunity. If you have an immunity to it, then, you know, you could be a day walker. You know what I'm saying? You got to worry about infecting other people, and you don't got to worry about catching anything because you don't already had it. For the most part, because there's a little hiccups with that. They're saying like approximately 30% of people that build antibodies for it, their antibodies aren't strong enough. So 70% antibodies are strong enough where they're good. They're day walkers. You're not going to catch it again. Roughly about 30% of people, there's been secondary infections because antibodies weren't strong enough. So hopefully the antibody tests can also gauge the strength of your antibody resilience and, you know, pretty much indicate if you're going to be a day walker or not. You know what I'm saying? Which would be beautiful. That would go into the whole reopening the economy and all that stuff. And on a big level, that would go into the herd immunity. And well, I was talking about the flu. A lot of people don't get the flu when flu season comes because they have a built-in immunity to it or they had it before. All these people that built these antibodies and that done already had it, now they are, I guess, roughly immune to it. You know what I'm saying? And it's not going to spread as much. So then the more vulnerable people, it will be harder for them to get it because it's not spreading that much. It's like everyone that done had it and it don't went away, they're like a brick wall. It's like stopping it. It's like, it's not going to get to the person behind them that might be vulnerable and stuff like that. You know? So, you know, just some interesting findings I thought I'd share real quick. Uh, I hope, you know what I'm saying? Honestly, I hope I got the antibodies right now. As soon as the antibody tests come through, I'm going to see what's good with that. So yeah, in general, everyone stay safe. Do what you got to do. Take the quercetin, get some zinc on the side of that. Get vitamin D, 5,000 IUs if you can. And of course, vitamin C and, your general thing that you're supposed to be taking. But the highlight things that are kind of weird that you probably never heard about, quercetin, Quercetin, and zinc supplements. The combination of that may very well be able to flush that crap out your system if it hits you. Look it up. Don't take my word for it. Put that in the search engine, quercetin, coronavirus. See what you find. You know what I mean?